Okay, now yesterday I said I was going to have you apply this stuff, and now you're going to start. You'll need 4 things out, the 2 packets. This sheet here you can throw away after you're done because this is more to it than just this. Okay, I just have so your multiplication table, this, and then these 2. We'll do this one next after we finish this. We have to solve the equation. Now, you're going to learn about equations. It's your first day. These are known as quadratic equations. Okay? It's called a quadratic equations if it has an x to the second power, which it does anywhere. Or not anywhere, it's your highest power. If your highest power is x to the second, which all these are, it's a quadratic equation. Now, the thing is about these, they have 2 answers. So you're going to put x equals x equals. Now, all the quadratic equations come in various forms. This is the form you're going to deal with today. Ax to the second plus bx. A and b are numbers. So in front of the x second here, I got 2. In front of the x, I've got 8. To solve an AB quadratic equation, you simply make sure on one side of the equation you have 0. You are, so I'm going to write the word set. Okay? Then you're going to make a box which looks like what you were doing yesterday with your line, parentheses with a line outside. And you're going to put equals 0 behind it, just like that. Now you got to figure out the GCF and do that skill I taught you yesterday. 2 and 8's an easy one. They're both in that second row. So 2. And you're always on these going to be taking an x because you're going to have an x second and an x to the first. So we're going to have x. Now I go up and divide. Remember, cross those out. Those are gone. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now, one thing that will go quicker, x to the second divided by x is always x. I'm going to say that again. X to the second power divided by x is always x. X to the second divided by x is always x. Then 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now you're going to do your F1, F2. You're going to put a parentheses outside so you know what your 2 factors are. And you're going to set each one of those equal to 0. So 2x could equal 0, or 1x plus 4 could equal 0. So here that's 2 times x. I just divide by 2. 0 divided by 2 is 0. There's your first answer. Now over here you got a plus 4, so minus 4. 1x, 0 take away 4 is negative 4. Think about it on. And then you really don't need to divide by 1. You can take that off. So 0 and negative 4 are the 2 answers. Okay. Okay, next problem. Again, you have x to the second. You go A, B. A is your x squared, B has your x. There won't be a number without an x, okay, so don't worry. Make sure you're equal to 0. You are, so you're set. Make your little box. I'm going to be using boxes when I solve quadratic equations, okay, quite a bit. Okay, GCF. So 6 and 15. Well, 6 but no 15, so 6 isn't the GCF. 6 and 15, 3. X to the second and x to the first, I would go with x. And then I go up and divide by 3x. And I quick cross the x's out there. So that gives me 2. That'll always give you x. Negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5, so minus 5. And 5 is now a constant, okay? Then parentheses, you're going to go F1, F2, and solve, okay? Because there's 2 answers. I usually put the answers in the corner. So one possibility is 3 times x being equal to 0, and then the other possibility is 2 times x minus 5 being equal to 0. So I just divide by 3 here, and I get 0. You would have to add 5 first, so 0 plus 5 is 5, and then I divide by 2. And 5 divided by 2 is a decimal, so we're just going to leave it 5 over 2. Okay, next one. 3x to the power of 2 minus 9x equals 0. So we have two answers. It is a quadratic equation where the variable is to the second power. Now, you've never had to find two answers because you've never had the variable be to the second power where you had to figure out what that variable equaled. Okay. Okay, so you have x to the second. Oh, okay, so you got a, b. If you think that AB seems pointless today, it's not, okay? It will help you out a lot when we learn other forms. AB, this is how you do it, okay? Just trust me. Okay, equals 0 out here, because now it's not an expression, it's an equation. I got to keep the equals 0. What I'm trying to do is rewrite these in factored form, okay? This expression I'm trying to undistribute the GCF, and it opens it up so I can have two separate expressions, two separate x factors where I can solve and have it equal to 0. So 3 and 9 would be in the third row. So 3, x squared and x, well, that would be x. I go up and divide both of them by 3x. Because if I'm pulling 3x outside, then both have to be divided by the same thing, 3x. So that's going to be 1. That's always x, and then minus 3. Now you have opened up the equation into two factors, where f1, f2. So 3x could equal 0, 1x minus 3 could equal 0. So here we just divide by 3. That's 0. Here we need to plus 3. And you can divide by 1 if you want. It'd just be 3. 0 and 3 are the two solutions. Okay, my next one, there are two solutions to this. Okay. So A is your x squared, B is your x coefficient. The A and B are numbers, okay? To solve A and B, we always first set up the box where I'd find the GCF and factor it out. So 16 and 80. Here's 16, here's 80, so 16 is what we're rolling with x. Now also, if the sentence has a negative in the beginning, you need to make your GCF negative, okay? So then I divide by negative 16x. That's 1 with x. X squared divided by x is always x. Then positive 80 divided by negative 16 is negative 5. So I don't want to write plus 5, it's minus 5, because when you add a negative, that's like a minus. Okay, and then f1, the GCF, f2, the expression that remains. So negative 16x could equal 0. Or 1x minus 5 could equal 0. Okay, don't add 16 here. That means negative 16 times x. You still divide, even if it's a negative. And that's 0. Then over here we have to add 5 to both sides. That's 5. That's 5. Okay. Now, the next part, you're going to have a little problem that you have to fix. It's easy to fix it, okay? But you have A, but you got B on the other side. The A and the B have to be on the same side. So you have to get this as a 0. So here's how you do that. You put equals 0. You're going to put your A first. Since your B has to go across the equals, it goes from a negative to a positive to a negative, okay? Because A and B are different terms, so plus negative 28x or minus 28x, either one. It's like you're taking it away from that side, bringing it over to that side. You get rid of a positive 28 to get it to 0, you'd minus it, or just make it negative, but just to avoid cluttering up your workspace, it just comes over here. Now everything's the exact same, okay? A, b. That's why I put that equals 0 there. If you don't have the equals 0, you're going to have to move that to the other side by changing it to opposite. So GCF, just like yesterday. Okay, 14 and 28. Well, that'll be 14. That works. And then x to the second, x would be x. Okay. Then I divide by 14x. So 14 divided by 14 is 1. X to the second divided by x is just x. Negative 28 divided by 14 is negative 2. So if you get a negative, you need to subtract 2 then. And then there's F1, there's F2. Two linear factors. Linear means they don't have second powers anymore, they're first powers. So 14x could equal 0. 1x minus 2 could equal 0. So that means 14 times x, so I divide by 14 and I get 0. Here I add 2. 1x equals 2, and that would be 0 and 2. Okay, next one. 2 answers. So this is why you got to label your a and your b. Okay, a is your x squared, b is your x to the first. Well, you're not going to make your box because you can't do that until you have a 0. Because remember, we want to put a 0 outside. Okay, so I have negative 24x to the second. And then I bring the 9x over. I would subtract it, or means it becomes a negative. You can just write minus 9x or plus negative 9x. It doesn't matter, okay? But it goes from a positive to a negative in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Now we make our box, because now I can put equals 0 outside that box. Okay, 24 and 9, okay? No, nope, it wouldn't be 9. Yeah, 9, 24, so 3. It'd be 3. Also, you're always going to factor out an x with the 3 because you got x second and x to the first. And if the sentence starts with a negative, please remember to put a negative there. And then I go up and divide by negative 3x. So negative 24 divided by negative 3 is 8. X to the second divided by x to the first would be x. Okay, we can cross those out. Negative 9 divided by negative 3 is positive 3. So we write plus 3. We add 3. So F1, F2. Okay, so negative 3 times x could equal 0, or 8x plus 3 could equal 0. Okay, so I divide by negative 3. And then I subtract 3. And that's negative 3. But then we would have to then divide by 8. Now, that's a decimal, so we're just going to put negative 3/8. Okay, similar to how you would, yeah, I don't want to say the word. Okay. Now down here, cross that out. We just did that problem. That'd be stupid. Okay, so there's 2 answers. Label in a quadratic equation, you need to label your AB. There's going to be a C coming up, but not today. X squared has A in front of it, and the X has B. Again, those have to be on the same side. You need a 0 right there. Okay, to get a 0, I'd have 8x second over here, and then I'd subtract 4x, okay? So I would put minus 4x or plus negative 4x, whatever works for you. If you put plus negative, it means the same thing. You just need to move it over to change its sign. Now it's an AB like I want it, where I can make my little box, put the equals 0 outside. 8 and 4, the GCF is 4. Okay, I have x second and x first, so you're, oops, why am I putting that there? 4x to the first, okay? You put the GCF in that line, and that's what you do, like yesterday. And then divide by 4x, cancel those. So that's 2, that's x. 4 divided by 4 is not just a cancel, it's 1. Okay. So F1, F2. So either 4x could equal 0 or 2x minus 1 could be 0. So 0. 0 is going to be the first answer when you have an ax squared bx. Now, 1 divided by 2 is not 2, it's 1/2. Okay, that's what we have. Okay, when you get to number 5, you'll have to start rewriting the equation so you have a 0 on that side. So that 6 comes over as a negative, and so forth. Okay. Okay, let me know if you got a question back there. Pause the video, do those problems, and I'll show you how to do this one. Okay, there's going to be a 1 problem assignment here. I'm going to go over 4 examples, okay, and then you can work. A startled armadillo jumps straight into the air with an initial vertical velocity of 14 feet per second, okay? After how many seconds does it land on the ground? You're always going to underline feet and seconds, and you're always solving for the seconds in this packet. So I do what I normally do, feet and seconds. X is the time, Y is the feet. Okay, feet per second's 14x, but this isn't a line, man, because the armadillo comes up, but then gravity pulls him down. And also I want you to put something up here. Gravity equals a number in algebra, -16. Okay, -16. With it, this is called a parabola, okay? P-A-R-A-B-O-L-A, parabola. You want to find out when he's on the ground, and that's going to be the case in all the problems. Put 0 feet. Now here's how you're going to write the equation now. When you have a graph that looks like this, instead of a line, you're going to go blank x to the second at this point plus blank x equals, okay? Equals y, I should say. Gravity, that gravity number -16 is your x to the second. Your x is the 14. Don't put 14x, you got the x sitting right there. And then we insert 0 feet into the equation for y. So just scribble it out. Now forget it being a story problem, and you roll with this, okay? So that's A, that's B. They're on the same side with the 0 on the other side, so we're set, okay, with the 0. Now we can make our box. Okay, 16 and 14 are both in the second row. So GCF, I don't know why I get bad habits are hard to break. 2 with x, and also we have a negative in the sentence at the beginning, so we divide then by -2x. So -16 divided by -2 is 8 with x. 14 divided by -7 is 2 is -7. Okay. Now you got your F1, your F2, set them each equal to 0 and solve. Sorry, I should have wrote -7. That's my bad. Okay. Instead of plus negative. Divide by -2 and you get 0. Add 7, you get 7. Divide by 8, you get 8. Now, your answer in the corner, you want to put the higher answer, 7/8. I want to see the 0, but down here in the corner. So he lands on the ground after 7/8 of a second. Okay. Next one. Get rid of that 4.5. That's stupid. A penguin jumps out of the water while swimming at an initial velocity of 4 feet per second. After how many seconds does a penguin land back in the water? So again, you're always finding the seconds. Just put that in the corner, and the 2 units are going to be the feet and the seconds. Seconds is x times always x, feet per second. Well, the feet per second is 4 feet per second. But the penguin doesn't just go forever. He's a fat guy. Gravity pulls him down. Gravity equals negative 16. Remember that. Okay. Put x to the second with that too. And he's always going to land at 0 feet. Okay. Eventually hits water, the ground, whatever. Now, line up. You're going to have negative 16x to the second plus 4x equals y, okay? But you are going to put 0 feet in for the y. Now, you got two answers. Label your A, label your B, and make your box. You're good to go. You don't have to move anything. Put equals 0. Keep putting that here. It goes right here, okay? 16 and 4, so here's 4 and there's 16, so 4 is the GCF with x, and again we have a negative at the beginning of the sentence, so I do negative 4x. Now I go divide both of them by negative 4x, so that's 4 with x. 4 divided by negative 4 is negative 1, so write minus 1 please. Okay. So F1, F2, now divide by negative 4, okay, then I add the 1, 4x equals 1, divide by 4, 1/4. So seconds is 1/4 of a second, 1/4 of a second. I'm not doing this one, okay. Also not doing that one, the cat. I'll do the spittlebug, okay. Spittlebug jumps into the air at an initial vertical velocity of 10 feet per second. After how many seconds does a spittlebug land on the ground, okay. So again, you're finding the seconds on all these problems. And you got feet and seconds. Seconds is x, feet's y. So feet per second is 10. It goes up, but gravity pulls him back down. If you got gravity, put negative 16x squared. Okay, you will have that in the equation if gravity. It's a constant on Earth. That's why you use that negative 16 every time gravity is involved. 0 feet. So I've got negative 16x to the second plus 10x, this plus this, they combine to make an equation, equals y, but then 0 feet replaces the y. Now you solve it, okay? A, B, then 0, that's good. Make my box. So GCF. 16 and 10, I can only find them in the second row. So 2 with x, and that would be a negative. Then I go up and divide by negative 2x. So that's 8 with x. Negative 5, so minus 5. So F1, F2. Okay, so negative 2x equals 0. 8x minus 5 equals 0. So we get 0. 0 is like a throwaway solution. You have it, and I want to see it, but 5/8 of a second. Okay, that's it.